Welcome to another Crypto Spendthrift interview session. I'm here with Jordan from Purse.io. So, Jordan, just tell us about what you're doing here.
Sure. So I'll give you a little bit of an overview of Purse and then what I do at Purse. So Purse is our goal is to make crypto useful. And we do that by allowing you to save 5 to 33% on everything on Amazon by spending with Bitcoin. So you can go on Purse, type in any item from Amazon or paste in a URL, and we have a wallet, so you transfer money into Purse and you can buy that item at 5 to 33% off directly on Purse, and it'll be shipped to you directly from Amazon. And I am responsible for growth at Purse.
All right. So here's a very obvious question. Why do you think it's important for Bitcoin to be spent rather than just dealt in speculation or just this little medium for exchanging to other cryptos?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we think in order for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies actually to be really useful is they have to be a currency. Sort of, if you can't go and transact this thing anywhere, then it's just an investment vehicle, and it'll be sort of relegated to that position for a long time. And Purse is really trying to change that narrative to allow people to actually spend Bitcoin and to use it for their everyday purchases. And really the only time that you hear about Bitcoin being spent was the $10 billion pizza that was purchased. The iconic pizza that people love talking about. Yeah, the iconic pizza. And we're really trying to break this notion of hodling. And the only good that the cryptocurrencies have is just to hold on to it. We've saved millions and millions of dollars for people, allowing them to actually spend and transact their Bitcoin.
All right. So what are your ideas to actually spur people into spending it? Because like you were saying, the prevalent mindset right now is just to hold it. Do you think it's just a convenience factor that it's really wasn't convenient yet to use Bitcoin in multiple places?
Yeah, we think that that's part of it, that there just really hasn't been an infrastructure built around spending Bitcoin and using it and actually transacting in it. And the question you asked about incentives is a good one, because we actually match shoppers and earners. So there are people out there that have an extra Amazon, some Amazon balance, or they really want Bitcoin and they're willing to transact on Amazon on your behalf for a discount in order to get cryptocurrency. And so we think that there's a lot of demand for that, and we've seen that in our shopping, in our shoppers' habits, and people have bought all sorts of things on Purse. I personally bought a camera. I saved $200 on a Sony camera that I bought recently. I also purchased a lens for my recent travels that I bought on Purse. And it's actually, once you can get out of this mindset that Bitcoin's only purpose is to hold it, and you're worried about the daily fluctuations or what's the price now, and you can actually transact in Bitcoin, you can see your savings pile up over time. And the nice thing is we have a trustless escrow system. So when you shop on Purse, you get the item, and when you make that transaction, we actually hold your Bitcoin in escrow until you confirm delivery, and then your Bitcoin is released to the earner at that time. So, and the nice thing is, one of the reasons that we can save a lot of money is that we don't have things like credit card reversals or credit card fees, and that's just sort of really helpful to making that transaction seamless and safe.
All right. Yeah, that was one of the things I was kind of amazed by, how that little extra savings can definitely go a long way once you're making those bigger purchases.
Yeah, we see that generally users will spend in small increments, but they will buy larger amounts of Bitcoin, for example, to be able to spend over time. Or some of our users will actually earn Bitcoin on the site and then spend it on other items, which is kind of a funny thing. But but you can use it for everyday purchases, really anything you can find on Amazon, from larger purchases like cameras or smaller things like if you're buying diapers, for example.
Yeah, Amazon's definitely one of those websites where you can get basically anything you need.
It's actually kind of incredible because there are folks on our platform that will buy other gift cards too. So people will shop on Purse for a Whole Foods gift card, a Safeway gift card, Southwest Airlines, Uber. So there are all these gift cards that you can actually buy on Purse and save on things that even aren't on Amazon. And so it really sort of opens the world up to spending Bitcoin in way more ways than just ordering an item on Purse and having it shipped directly to you.
That leads me to my next question. So there's already been a couple platforms that kind of allow users to spend Bitcoin, but they usually operate directly into gift cards. So how'd you kind of come about of using like earners to use their like extra gift cards to like facilitate what you're doing?
Well, the nice thing is that our platform actually is more secure than if you just bought a gift card, for example, because of the escrow system. So let's say that you make a purchase for a monitor, right? And when that monitor comes to you, you can say, yes, indeed, I received that monitor, at which point then your Bitcoins are released to the earner. So that actually allows you to say, yes, indeed, this is the thing that I ordered. Whereas if you buy a gift card, there are all sorts of things that you need to be aware of on these sites. For example, was the gift card purchased with a credit card, which allows for reversible transactions? And so those are the types of things that you don't have to worry about on Purse, that if you are trying to shop for a gift card to then buy something else on other marketplaces, you have to be a much more savvy shopper to understand, where did that gift card come from? Who is the person that you're transacting with? And I think the whole idea behind Bitcoin is to remove this notion of essential authority. And if you shop on those sites, that's the case, but there's also no way to know where that gift card came from and what the trust is there. Whereas Purse allows you to shop without having to necessarily trust the other person on the other end, because when you receive the item, that's when you can release your Bitcoins.
Yeah, that's one of the big things about those gift card sites is sometimes they're not like legitimate gift cards. They're purchased with fraudulent credit cards or things like that, and kind of a risk you sometimes run when you're directly purchasing them.
Yeah, and some of our earners have actually become really, really good at this. So they're able to say things like, send me a receipt, and I'll only accept gift cards purchased with cash. And the other thing is that if you do this yourself directly and you use gift cards that you purchased on other sites, then you also can risk your Amazon account if those cards are revoked at a later time, and Amazon can then sort of connect you with fraud, which is really unfortunate. But Purse saves you from all of that by allowing you to transact directly in the product that you want on Amazon.
Yep, definitely nice for the consumers then. So, is there any kind of incentive to spend outside of Bitcoin?
What do you mean?
Like for you guys personally, to expand beyond Bitcoin and offer like altcoins on Purse?
Absolutely. We're definitely looking into other cryptocurrencies currently. We definitely want to make it as easy as possible for earners to earn the cryptocurrency of their choice, and for shoppers to be able to spend in the cryptocurrency of their choice. So it's something we're definitely looking into. Also, fees, especially around the November timeframe, were sort of crazy high.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to make the shopping experience as inexpensive as possible for our shoppers and our earners, and that includes minimizing for fees, transactions, etc. So we're actively looking into other cryptocurrencies. And I would love to hear from your listeners too, what cryptocurrency they would be interested in spending on Purse. We always are taking feedback about what type of cryptocurrencies people are interested in and have, and are also interested in spending instead of hodling.
Yeah. So I imagine you're very excited about the whole Lightning Labs being in beta and that coming to fruition soon enough.
Absolutely. Absolutely we are. We can't wait for it.
We'll definitely bring those fees down to a manageable level and make it way faster. So that'll probably encourage some people to go into spending rather than holding too.
Yeah, and we're also working on some different education pieces about, for example, how do you buy, what's the most efficient way to buy Bitcoin so you can insulate yourself from the fluctuations of Bitcoin. So just sort of educating people that if you're in the US, the best way to do it is to transfer money, USD, from your bank account to Coinbase, and then buy Bitcoin from your USD wallet in Coinbase to your Bitcoin wallet. Then you can instantly make a transfer to Purse and then spend your Bitcoin. So really trying to make it accessible for anyone to be able to spend and use Bitcoin, even if they're new, and showing them just the easiest way to do that without sort of being worried about the story and in the public being that Bitcoin is this super fluctuating currency that, no one really understands how to use or what it's about. And so we're trying to sort of make that a little bit easier for people to get into cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I think that's a big deal, just education in all kind of fronts with crypto, because sometimes it turns out like if you're more experienced, you might assume people know how to do things or assume they just have knowledge about things, but it turns out a lot of people have questions on just a lot of the more simple things, and having that education tool is definitely gonna, I think, benefit you and end up benefiting the wider community.
Cameron, that's totally right. We are definitely trying to make it easy for people to get into cryptocurrency, and a lot of our hires recently have been folks, like myself, who are sort of new to cryptocurrency, to be able to take a fresh perspective for people that haven't been around cryptocurrency since 3 or 4 or 5 years. Just some of the new folks that maybe have got in October, November, December, and were interested because they saw the price increase or just had heard about it more often. And so we want them to think of this more like a currency and less like a stock or a game of speculation. And we think that that's like generally healthier for cryptocurrencies across the board, when you can think about it as a currency to be able to spend and to use, and also to see the benefits of that. So understanding that, hey, look, by owning this asset, you're able to save a lot of money on things that you may need every day. And you can worry less about some of the daily fluctuation of the price of Bitcoin, because those savings start to add up. I mean, I bought a Safeway gift card for $75 the other day and then bought groceries with it. So the sort of the stacking of the savings can totally insulate you from any of the changes of Bitcoin if it goes up or it goes down.
And yeah, those savings definitely can add up, because gave me a little demo of the website so I could check it out and all that. And I did notice, like, you also had those little options where you could decide if you really needed something right away, you could have the minimum discount, or you could wait a couple days to stack up your discount to get a little higher. I think that was a good feature.
Yeah, that's a great point. So the discount ranges from 5 to 33%, and you actually control that discount. So if you buy it at 5%, Purse actually will place the order on your behalf, so you won't be working with an earner. We'll place it immediately. That item will get shipped right away and sent to you. If you don't need the item, as quickly. So for my camera, I bought it at the beginning of February. I was going on a trip at the end of March. I was trying for 33% off, and then sort of I backed it off to 28% off. And so it took about a week and a half for the camera to be placed, but that was okay because I wasn't going on my trip to the end of the month, and I ended up saving $200 to $300 because I was willing to wait. But if it was something that I needed right away, I would definitely just stick with like 5 to 10%. And those orders, if it's 5% placed right away, anything more than that, we will match you with earner. And the lower discounts tend to get placed. Anything south of 15% tend to get placed within a day or two.
Well, that's really good to know for the listeners. Yeah, like I said, I thought that was a really cool feature, because something you wanted groceries relatively soon, you can get them as soon as possible. And then if you wanted some like big electronic purchase that you could obviously wait, because you probably want to save more money on that, and then kind of increase that time. So
yeah, you definitely don't want to order a sandwich at 30% off if you're hungry now.
That was just something personally that I thought was like really cool on the website.
Yeah, it's fun. We actually just sort of merged our checkout experience. So that flow of instant, or we would call it name your discount, used to be separate. So we really merged that so that when users are shopping, they could make that determination right at the time of checkout, instead of having to determine, do I want it fast, or or do I want it at a discount? And so we try to explain that to you with we've got this like great little slider that changes color as you go to a higher discount, saying, hey, look, if you want a high discount, you're going to have to wait a little bit for someone to pick this up. And generally, smaller orders will get picked up faster. So between $50 to $150. So even at high discounts, those orders get picked up a little bit quicker than if you are trying to buy a, $1,000 camera or a TV. Or the nice thing about those larger purchases, though, is you likely have more time to wait on them. So you can sort of set a high discount and and just see when an order picks it up, and you can sort of adjust you can go and modify your order and lower the discount or increase the discount. And it's a little bit gamified, if you will.
Yeah, I really like the whole UI and kind of design you have on the website. It was really easy to use, so
yeah,
kind of props to that.
Yeah, thank you so much. We recently actually spoke at a Bitcoin event at the Internet Archive here in San Francisco, and if you haven't been, you should go. It's a really great place, and they've got little statues of everyone I think that's been there more than 5 years. After you stay a certain amount of time there, they'll make like a small replica of you, which I love.
So, what else kind of the major things do you think will help kind of drive adoption? Because we already talked about kind of incentives and then the infrastructure being there. Anything else that you want to add on?
Yeah, I would say we're really working right now to get our name out there outside of the sort of crypto experts.
Yeah.
And so I would definitely encourage anyone to send me an email that's like maybe new to Bitcoin or they have some questions about cryptocurrency. I'm Jordan at Purse.io. So if you have any questions about it, I'm happy to like take you through it and talk to you about, what the experience was like setting up a Coinbase account or purchasing Bitcoin, answer any questions you have about, well, okay, what happens if the price changes, or how do I transfer, or how do wallets work? And we're definitely building more education material, but I'm always interested in learning from folks that are new, because I think the bar to entry is a little bit high, but once you get over it, it really, I mean, I found at least that once you start transacting with it, you don't have to worry about the day-to-day fluctuations as much. So I just transferred, $500 into my Purse account, and anytime I need something on Amazon, I'll shop on Purse, and the savings add up such that I'm not really worried as much about, is Bitcoin up by $10 or $50 or what's the percentage change increase. And so, the other thing I was sort of thinking about is that the US dollar does fluctuate, but it fluctuates in the prices, not fluctuates in what you can buy. Bitcoin is just sort of the reverse. Actually, the price of Bitcoin changes. So it's tempting to think, okay, well, the US dollar is so much more stable, and that's why I feel comfortable in transacting with it. But I definitely know, living in San Francisco, that after buying a $20 sandwich, and traveling around the country when you can get a sandwich for $5, that, inflation is definitely a thing. So I think if you sort of accept the price change of Bitcoin and you get used to buying it on Coinbase as its own currency, that it becomes just a lot easier to actually transact with it, and you sort of get comfortable with some of the price fluctuations.
Yeah, it's because it's a lot more obvious with Bitcoin that there's price fluctuations as well.
Yeah,
it's a little less noticeable with the US dollar for most people.
Yeah. Well, and it's also slower too. But You see the price of coffee change. And you're paying. There's a $15 pour over here in San Francisco, and it just sort of blew my mind, because coffee used to be $1 or $2, and that's just sort of changing. I don't mean to get sidetracked. It's just always think about the price of Bitcoin fluctuations, and then I think, well, someone can actually buy a $15 cup of coffee. And so I think if you can get used to that, I think you can get used to Bitcoin.
Well, West Coast is crazy. I would never buy a $15 cup of coffee here.
I have not purchased it myself, but the fact that it's on the menu, I think, says something.
But I think I have to address this because I know multiple times I've already told some people that have like beef with Coinbase. I agree that Coinbase is a very easy thing for new people, but there also should be like other options, like show that there's other exchanges that they can eventually move on to. Because my beef with Coinbase is just like Coinbase has some of the highest fees.
Yeah, yep, it's true, and that's why we're we're a hosted wallet. So you can buy on Shapeshift with other currencies if you'd like, or you can transfer your Bitcoin from wherever you would like. So we give you your address, and you can just send Bitcoin to your Purse wallet on chain, and just like any other wallet solution. And actually, we're built on top of Bcoin, which is an open source project, Bcoin.io, that we support. We're hosting Crypto for Your Thoughts, which is a hackathon in a couple months here, where hundreds of different developers will come together and hack on Bcoin as a wallet. And so we're really committed to the whole infrastructure around cryptocurrencies, and Bcoin is just one example of of a project that that we financially support to make cryptocurrencies both open source and interesting for developers. And I'm happy to invite anyone that is an engineer that would like to come to the Bay Area or is here to hack on for Crypto for Your Thoughts. So again, feel free to email me, Jordan@Purse.io, if that's interesting you. We've got, I think the top prize is $10,000 in a cryptocurrency of your choice if you win. So we're really committed to the ecosystem.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it. And going for that infrastructure is definitely what you need to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, Copay uses Bcoin as their node implementation for their wallet. So we're pretty proud of that, and always looking to chat with other folks in the industry, like Crypto Spendthrift, that are interested in getting the word out about cryptocurrencies and making this community a little bit tighter so that we can make roads into folks that haven't used cryptocurrency in the past.
I think, personally, for me, the funniest thing about this interview is that the website actually, like Crypto Spendthrift, actually started off as a place where I'd like try to find places to actually utilize Bitcoin. But that was like back in high school when I tried to like write articles for it.
It's hard. I mean, you really do have to dig to figure out where you can spend Bitcoin, how you can spend it, and and there are some retailers will go sort of on and off about Bitcoin. So, Stripe recently has shut down their ability to, transact in Bitcoin, and Square Cash, I think now you can buy Bitcoin. Robinhood has announced trading with Bitcoin, fee-free trading. And, to keep up in all the shifts of who is accepting Bitcoin now, who's not accepting Bitcoin, recent, shutdowns and ads for Facebook and Google. Yeah. And so, but Purse has been around through all of that, and we're here to stay. And, we do millions of dollars a month on Amazon. And so we really want to make Bitcoin as accessible for everyone, no matter what item you're trying to buy. And we think Amazon has been a really good way for folks to get into it, because, I don't know anyone who doesn't shop on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon's definitely one dominant company and website. And so there's just one final question that is more like a personal curiosity. Do you have any kind of like data of like the areas your users are most likely from, like, or most commonly from? Is it mostly like a US audience or a European?
Yeah, this is a great question. So we see most of our traffic come from the United States, both in terms of number of people and also spenders, but Japan, UK, both are also huge countries for us. So, and we'll see earners that are from all over the world. So we have a good amount of earners in India. We have earners in Venezuela, because Bitcoin is a more stable currency than the Bolivar. And so we've seen a lot of earners from all different countries that are really interested in Bitcoin as a means to hold other currencies than their local currency. And so we're really a global product with heavy focus in the United States and Japan, and our earners can earn from anywhere. So, yeah.
I was just curious about that, because a lot of the time since I do the news, I noticed that like the Asian market, like Japan and Korea specifically, tend to. It seems like they're more on the spending train than the holding train than a lot of like Western countries.
Yeah, and I think that we've done way more marketing in the United States, so it makes a lot of sense that we've got a good solid base there. But we see tons of transactions from Japan. I think Japan actually is our second largest country. It might be the United States, but the UK, but I'm pretty sure it's Japan. And yeah, and it's so we've got translators to make sure our support docs are supported in Japanese. And yeah, you're totally right about that. Your intuition about who, and sort of your research about who actually is interested in spending Bitcoin, we definitely have seen that as well here.
All right, Jordan, it's been good. So this last little time, you can just talk about anything. Like, what do you want to get out there? What do you want to tell the people about Purse.io or whatever? Just your little ad slot.
That's really great. So I want to say that we're super interested in partnerships. If there are folks that are working in cryptocurrency or are interested in Bitcoin, Purse is a really super flexible company. If you're in San Francisco, definitely hit me up. I'd love to take you through our office. It's a pretty we got a pretty great place in Dogpatch, and or if you're involved in any Bitcoin meetups, we would love to hear more. And let me actually pull up the crypto for your thoughts. Give me a second. It's Bitcoin.io. That's the site that you want to go to for our open source Bitcoin wallet. And yeah, happy to chat with anyone, and really looking to support the community any way we can. So feel free to hit me up. Jordan, Jordan at Purse.io.
Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, Jordan. I really had enjoyed talking to you. You also seemed like a really nice person.
Oh, thank you so much. Someone today thanked me for opening the door for them, and I felt so great about it. So to get 2 nice compliments within the span of an hour is a real pleasure for me. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today, Cameron.
No problem. It was enjoyable, and hopefully some of the listeners decide to use Purse, because when I actually want to spend Bitcoin, I'll definitely look to Purse now.
Great. Yeah, and would be happy to take any emails from any of your listeners about their experience using Purse, and just so interested in hearing from your listeners and anyone else who's interested in cryptocurrency.
All right, it's been a Crypto Spendthrift interview session with Jordan from Purse.io. Tune in for more episodes, and don't forget to rate the podcast after you're done listening. See you next time.
Rate it 5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars. All right. Thanks so much, Karen.